So, hello out there again in the big wide world. Here we are again in Teasdale, Utah, talking about integral recovery. And the question has come up recently as to what does integral recovery or an integral treatment center look like on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour basis. And this is something that we've been pioneering here in Teasdale, Utah, and as more integral treatment centers begin to come online around the world, this is going to be very important stuff to know. So let me just run through a typical day, if not a week, in an integral treatment setting. So, as we've said earlier, the vehicle that carries integral recovery into the world and in the client's life, or the person afflicted with chemical dependency or addiction, is integral recovery practice, which recently we've just been starting to call the practice. Kind of makes it a little more simple, differentiating from integral transformative practice that was pioneered by Michael Murphy and George Leonard, and then later integral life practice, which was pioneered by Ken Wilber and the Integral Institute. Then we started IRP, integral recovery practice, but now we're just calling it the practice. And these practices exercise, as we've said earlier, the body, the mind, the heart, the emotions, or the spiritual aspect and the soul. So, and when I'm working with a client or clients here in Teasdale, Utah, we start the day off. We usually wake up around 6 o'clock or 6:30. We like to get up early. The morning hours are a beautiful time to practice. We'll come downstairs into our kitchen, and we've been using a juicer and preparing organic juices, carrots and celery, tomatoes, grapes, and these different things, and have a glass of juice. And then we start with about a 20-minute yoga routine, and we have been using videos from Gaiam with Rodney Yee, morning AM yoga, and then there's a woman whose name I forget who's a PM yoga goddess in this particular set, and we find that they work very well. They're gentle, but they really prepare one for the day and for the practice, the sitting practice that's to follow. So we'll do 20 minutes of yoga downstairs, then we go up to our dedicated yoga, our meditation room, and we do our first hour of binaurally enhanced holosync meditation. Okay, so we're sitting there in the meditation room, and we have plenty of zafus or traditional meditation cushions which people can use, or if they have knee problems or back problems, they can just sit in a chair like I'm seated right now. So we do that for an hour, and then after we finish the meditation, you can hear the thunder in the background. We're getting much needed rain in our high desert paradise here, and we journal and write down some of the things that come up in meditation, because often when you're using holosync meditation, there's a lot of insights and things that come up that previously weren't known, or new and creative ways of looking at issues, and it's quite amazing. So I give people a chance to journal, and then we have a group. We talk about, well, how was your meditation? And the person shares, and I ask questions, and we all share how our meditation went, and this creates this gathered energetic feel of people working together. Then we'll do a process group and talk about what came up, and often they're very profound, and it's extraordinary to see that people can reach that levels are so deep in such a short time, provided by the integral practices that we do. After that, we'll go back and we'll have a breakfast, usually something light and healthy. We use organic foods and nuts and chemical-free meats and fish and vegetables and etc. We really try to make the diet very healthy and very clean, because there's a lot of just physical restoration that has to be done to the body, strengthening and rebuilding it if the person or the client has had any sort of prolonged alcohol or drug career. So after breakfast, we clean up, and then we come back, and we usually have about an hour to an hour and a half, perhaps even 2 hours of cognitive classroom time. And this is the part where we talk about what the disease of addiction is, neurochemically, neurologically, it is a physical disease, etc., and letting people know what the disease is. And of course, we have classes about, are you an addict? It's important, because many people go through periods of abusing drugs, and then they moderate or change or stop over time. But an addict is someone by definition that can't stop by themselves, because the compulsions and the cravings become too powerful, and the individual is overwhelmed. In addition to that, we teach different meditation techniques, different techniques and processes that we use to get at shadow material, trauma, all these things that keep people stuck and in the past have led to serial relapse. We also go through the Aqua Map, created by Ken Wilber and the Integral Institute, which again is the acronym for all quadrants, all lines, all stages, all states, and all types, part by part, bit by bit, applying it to integral recovery and to the recovery process. After that, we'll have lunch and have some free time. During an integral recovery retreat or an intensive or in a treatment center, there are many assignments that students are given. Some are, well, depending where the students are at. Different books and different writing assignments and studies, so they have time in the afternoon to go to their rooms, relax. They can even sleep. You know, I really don't have a problem with people sleeping in the afternoons or just taking a break, because the body needs lots of time to get better, to heal, and I think sleep and rest is very important, especially in the integral in the early phases of integral recovery. So after the rest time, we will go to the gym and do our strength training and cardio for the day. And we like to start off, before we go to get into the gym and get involved, we just take maybe a minute, and we just sit in silence, and at that point we dedicate our practice and our strength training to the highest good that we can imagine in our hearts, whether that's to our families, to our God, to our country, to our purpose, whatever that might be for the individual. And that seems to infuse the practice with more meaning and more just more dedication and more focus. A lot of times people are maybe turned off to weight training or strength training because they have these images of big steroid pumped up bodies, and it seems to be very egocentric and very non-spiritual. Well, as we said in earlier clips with Rob McNamara and things that I've taught, our strength training and integral recovery is a mindfulness training, and it is a spiritual training. But to have a strong body makes possible all the other practices and sets the basic foundation for a positive recovery and a positive functioning life, and for happiness and continued growth and functionality throughout one's life. So after training, we come back for the gym. People get a chance to change and take a shower and clean up, and then we will begin the evening meditation, which we do another hour of binaural holosync meditation, and the same process as before. Afterwards, there's journaling, and if people are really getting something, I don't even mind if they jot things down while they're in the meditation process, because it doesn't seem that that's really distracting with the power of the binaural meditation to really keep people focused and in these deep brainwave states. So after that, we do our group and process what came up in meditation, and then we have dinner. And the evenings are generally used for recreation. We'll come together and we'll watch a movie, something maybe that on the subject that's serious or just diverting or entertaining or fun. It's very, very important to laugh, and we have a lot of fun in integral recovery. It's important to realize that life can be fulfilling and glorious and very humorous without the influences of mind-altering substances. So after dinner, we have either we do something, or people go to their rooms and read and study or relax or write letters or take a walk. It's gorgeous here in southern Utah. There's no places to go out and score drugs or any bars locally, so it's pretty safe for our students to go out and take walks and just commune with the gorgeous nature around here. So that is basically what we do from day to day to day.